Switch. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh my god, he got melted. Oh my god. Alright, let's try out this grease trap one more time. Yo! What the hell? Bro, the grease trap doesn't even make sense. What the hell? Look at the damage. Holy moly. Alright, let's try with the Inferno Wish. Double projectile. Set him up here. Oh, this guy's in immunity phase. Okay, let's see the damage. Let's admire the damage. 235 million. I'll take it. I'll take it. And he got killed by the clone. Alright, perfect. That works. Let's go. This guy has a lot of health. Let's see what this build can do. Grease him up. Oh my god, look at that. Melted. Absolutely wasted. Come on, clone, finish him. There you go. Easy. Woo! Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Scare Soldier back with another Borderlands 3 video, and in today's video we're going to give you the best 2025 version of the Digi-Clone Zane build. This build is one of my favorites in the game and probably the best one and easiest to use. So let's go ahead and break down the build. So we're going to start with the gear and then we're going to build the skill tree together. So for the weapons you're going to need, these are my top 4 weapons for the build. The first one is going to be the Light Show. This gun for Zane, for just running and gunning, is going to be absolutely insane for pretty much bossing, mobbing. It's insane, this gun, so much damage. The clone does so much damage with this weapon. This is my favorite all-around gun to use. Make sure you have the Light Show. The second gun that I love, and this is for mostly bossing because this thing does the most damage out of all the guns in this build, is the Grease Trap. The Grease Trap, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to equip the clone, and he's going to be shooting the fire starter. You as Zane, you're just gonna run around with the hot grease augment, and you're just gonna grease up enemies, and your clone is going to be shooting them and lighting them on fire, which does crazy amounts of damage. If you guys saw the highlights in the beginning of the video. So from that point, for the other guns, for the clone, you guys can use the OPQ system, very good weapon. The Breath of the Dying, very good weapon. The Soul Render, the Back Burner for the rocket launchers, Back Burner, Kick Charger, Hive, Plague Bearer. These are all super good weapons. And then the Sandhawk. These are all my favorite weapons to use for the build. So if you guys can grab any one of these, this is going to be amazing. So one more thing is for the anointments. For the anointments, you're going to want to have action skill and some sort of elemental damage. Make sure it matches the enemy you're going against to get the absolute most damage output. For the Grease Trap, you either want consecutive hits or action skill and splash damage. That's going to be the best anointments for this weapon. And then we're going to go down to the shields now. So for the shields, you only need 2 shields. It's going to be the Revolter, because the Revolter is going to give you 200% extra shock damage. It's going to increase your fire rate, your reload speed, I believe, and also it's going to give you more movement speed. So the Revolter is a must-have for Zane, the best shield in the game from a damage output point of view. Also, just so you know, the clone gets a copy of your shield. So when his shield breaks, he's also going to get those bonuses. So make sure you have the Revolter. Now for bosses, also you can switch to the Inferno Wish if you want to use some rocket launchers, because the Inferno Wish gives you an extra projectile, and now that basically gives you double the damage essentially. So Plague Bearers, Kick Chargers, even the Back Burners, it's going to give you those double projectiles from the clone, and you're going to be doing nuts amount of damage. What I like to do is I'll go into the fight with the Inferno Wish, I'll call my clone out, that way he has the Inferno Wish active. And then I'll switch back to the Revolter so that I have the Revolter as Zane, he has the Inferno Wish, and we just absolutely decimate the map. Crazy stuff. So make sure you have that. For anointments, for the Revolter, you want the Action Skill Start anointment. That's going to be procced by our Mantis, and we're going to go through the skill tree in a second. Next, you want to have any grenade, doesn't matter, just make sure you have anointments that have different elemental bonuses on action skill end, corrosive, fire, shock, whatever. Just make sure you have different flavors for different times because different enemies have different types of health bars and weaknesses. Just make sure you carry a variety with you. Then we're gonna just go with the Pearl simply. The Pearl is amazing. The stacks stay pretty much active because you have me and you have the clone shooting at the same time. So it's very easy to keep these stacks going and it's a lot of damage with the Pearl. You can also use a company man if you want. So I like to use the Maliwan company man when I'm using the grease trap. I don't have to though, I can stick with the Pearl. In all the clips you saw I was using the Pearl only. Or you can go with the Icebreaker Victory Rush, but I think this is a bit overrated because enemies die so fast that you never have the chance to actually deal that extra damage versus frozen enemies. So you're not really even getting that bonus damage most of the time. So if you want, you can use it, but personally just use the Maliwan, or sorry, some form of company man or the Pearl. That's it, that's all you need, simple. Now for the class mod, what we're going to do is we're going to use either the Scene Dead or we're going to use the Executor. The Executor is going to give us more damage for critical hits and status effect. This is overall just a good run and gun class mod. But my favorite is going to be the Scene Dead with +5 into Donnybrook because this is going to beef up our clone the most out of all the class mods. And the roles you're going to want to have is going to be action skill damage and splash damage if possible, because the clone also gets enhanced with Zane's action skill damage and splash damage. So you're going to want to have both. I don't, and even in the clips you saw, I didn't have the splash damage bonus and I was doing this much damage. So you see the potential of the build. So we're going to go ahead and equip that, but those are the two class mods you want, Scene Dead and Executor. Actually, let's remove that because we're going to be building the skill tree for you guys, or with you guys. So we have 70 points. This is a level 72 Zane, so we're going to build this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 3 points into Prometheus. This is going to give us more mag size for Zane and the Digi-Clone. So this is going to allow us to keep shooting for longer, and that way we're just putting more damage output. Then you see we have to get down the tree. Putting 2 points into Borrowed Time with just one action skill is not going to really be beneficial because this is better when you have 2 action skills active. But unfortunately, we have 1. So we're going to put the points into Synchronicity. So we're going to put 5 into Synchronicity to help us get down the tree. And we're going to have Donnybrook, which is our favorite perk right here. So you have the kill skill. We're going to put 5 points into here. With Donnybrook, what you're going to get is increased gun damage. You're going to gain health regeneration. And this is going to stack twice. So you see the base level is 17. But we're going to now add the Scene Dead. We're going to add it, and you're going to see just how strong that gets. Pretty insane. So next, we're going to not put Fractal Frags because we don't want the clone to spam grenades. This is a kill skill. So if you're using the Scene Dead, this is going to get spammed because every time you shoot an enemy, you have a chance to activate all your kill skills. And we don't want to keep throwing grenades. It's too much. We want the clone to be shooting, so we're going to avoid that. But we will put 1 into Duct Tape mod to get that last little sentence. You see, Zane gains immunity from his own guns and grenades. We want that immunity, so we're going to give 1 point into here. We have to get down the skill tree, so we're going to do the Quick Breather, so we can actually heal our clone by 50% of his max health and already start recharging his shield and health. So this is going to be really good. Boom. Now we got to get down the skill tree because we want the capstone. We want our clone to have the copy of Zane's weapon. So we're going to put 3 points into Supersonic Man just to get some movement speed. More movement speed for Zane means more damage. And we don't need this because we never really go for your fight for your life. So this is not necessary. But if you want, you can put 2 points into Pockets Full of Grenades and 1 into Old You. We're going to do all 3 points into Pocket Full of Grenades because this is going to regenerate our grenades. And why that's important is because Boom Enhance consumes 3 grenades. And this increases for every grenade that is available. So we want to always have grenades in our inventory. So we're going to put 1 point there. That way we get 3 times the bonuses that you see on the left. So 3 times the gun damage, 3 times the max health stats, everything by 3 that you see on the left, which is huge. Our Digi-Clone is going to be very, very tanky with this stat. Then we're going to put 3 points in Trickle Light because this doesn't really do much. So not necessary. So we're going to put 3 points here to get to the capstone. And Trickle Light's not bad. You're getting 45% bonus cryo damage, which is great for enemies not targeting him, which happens because the clone does take a lot of aggro. So you're going to be dealing bonus cryo damage to enemies who are not looking at you, which is big. Then we're going to get double barrel. And also a little thing about double barrel, aside from item duping, you also get bonus gun damage. Right when you swap places with the clone, it causes Zane and his clone to get gun damage. And there's no time duration. So you just have to swap places with your clone once. And then you automatically get 25% free gun damage. So pretty cool. We're going to go with the augments Doppelbanger and the which one's real. You can pick whatever one you want, but these are my favorite combos just because Doppelbanger gives you flexibility to move around with your clone, kill them off if you give them the wrong gun, and then respawn them with the right gun, etc., etc. And then which one's real to, again, allow enemies to target the clone for the first few seconds when he's summoned, and then you move on. So we're going to have the clone in the right slot, actually, but we're going to get to that in a second. Now, blue tree, we're going to go 5 points into violent violence for more movement speed, more damage, plus this effect stacks twice, so pretty awesome. Then we're going to go into the gun damage, so boom, and don't forget, it's not 20% gun damage. This is gun damage 20% at default walk speed, so it scales. So the faster you move, the more and more that damage increases. So we don't exactly know that number, but just keep in mind it increases quite a lot. We're going to have 1 to salvation, get that lifesteal. This is going to keep us alive as long as me or the clone are shooting somebody. We're always going to have pretty much infinite health. Then we're going to have 5 points of cool hand, get more reload speed, which also this effect stacks twice. We're going to have the scene red, which is going to give us bonus 15% to our kill skills. And right away, right when we call our clone or we trigger our mantis, we're going to be getting all our kill skills active right away. So right into the gunfight, we're all maxed out. Then we're going to get violent violence, which is going to give us more fire rate to our gun, which also stacks twice. Now we need to get this capstone. The death follows close because we want more kill skill bonuses and more kill skill duration. So we got to go ahead and get that. So we're going to have to put 3 points into the good misfortune. This is actually going to also help us, especially with the scene dead, keep our action skill active as well. So if our clone doesn't die through natural causes, as long as we're shooting things, our clone will stay alive with the scene dead. And then death follows close, which is going to increase our kill skills and the duration. So that's going to be super amazing for us. We are going to now finish off into the purple tree. So you see we have Renegade, we have Deja Vu. These both kind of suck, unfortunately. And so we're going to go into mana focus. This is going to give us the accuracy and handling. This also stacks, and this is going to be used when we're going to be triggering our mantis. So we're going to have the mantis. Then we're going to get points into critical hit damage, which this effect stacks twice, and it's a kill skill, so very, very powerful. Then commitment, another kill skill. This is going to increase gun damage and action skill cooldown rate, 5 points into there. Then remember, we have violent momentum. So we're going to scale violent momentum, right? If you see here, default walk speed. But now we can sprint and shoot. So this is going to increase that quite heavily. And then we're going to put 2 points into domino effect, which is going to give us more reload speed, more fire rate. This effect doubles when you hit critical hits with his action skill. So mind you, the clone is an action skill. So if he hits critical hits, you're going to get double reload speed, double fire rate just from domino effect. And don't forget, we have cool hand and violent violence. So you can imagine how fast we're shooting and reloading with this build. So with that being said, we're going to finish off by putting the augment for the mantis. We're going to try to get the brain drain. So whenever Zane kills an enemy with a critical hit from his shoulder cannon, which never really happens, unfortunately, we won't really be getting much effects from that. But if the chance is there, we'll take it. We do trigger our mantis a lot. And then lastly, we'll just do some colder shoulder. These augments are not really good. My favorite one is actually the one that's not active, but it's all good. Can't get everything you want. So that's the build. For our Mayhem modifiers, we have Speed Demon because this allows us, after killing an enemy, we get 50% more movement speed, and this effect stacks 3 times. So we can get up to 150% more movement speed with this, which can also potentially give us more damage with Zane. And then the rest of the modifiers don't really bother us too much. Roguelite, we never die. Drone Ranger, we don't even see whatsoever affect us because we kill things so fast. And then the only thing that sucks about these modifiers is freeze tag. But the reason why I use Mayhem level 10 is because Speed Demon. Speed Demon makes you freaking fly through this map. Like speed runs, running super fast, getting more damage when you sprint shoot. You want to have that if you're using Zane. So that's the build. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it, the breakdown. and let me know which build you guys want me to do next. I'll catch you in the next one. It's your boy Scared Soldier signing out. Peace, guys.